Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video, we will learn about the two-way data binding in the Angular 18. Two-way data binding gives component in your application a way to share the data. Use two-way data binding to listen for events and update values simultaneously between parent and the child components. So what is this two-way binding? Two-way binding is nothing but it combines both the property binding and also with the event binding. So that is nothing but a two-way data binding. So two-way data binding we can achieve it in two ways in Angular. One is with using the directive called as an ng model, which we can bind it to the input elements, and that we will try to see it in our next videos, upcoming videos. And also the custom two-way data binding also. We can also implement the custom two-way data binding, which we have already did for the React.js and the Vue.js in our videos. I have did this one. In Angular also I will try to show you how we can implement this two-way data binding adding. And now here, for example, let's say that here in our I will try to create a component. Okay, I will try to create a component that is nothing but sizer component. I will try to create here. I am creating ng gc sizer. I will try to create it like this. So let it create. So now adding a two-way data binding, that syntax for this one is nothing but, let's try to open the notepad++. By the time if it opens, then I will try to, here I will try to explain you. Angular two-way data binding, what it will try to do it is, so this can be achieved by the combination of square bracket and a parenthesis. So like this. So the two-way data binding we can achieve it like this. This syntax combines the bracket of the property binding, that is nothing but the square brackets, with the parenthesis of the event binding. So as follows. So something like this. For example, now I am creating a sizer component, right? So if you are having a sizer component, then you will try to use it like this. And here, if you want a variable to be data binding means, then you need to use sizer is equal to some variable. Okay, variable. So this is how we will be using the component. So two-way data binding. So how the two-way data binding works? Let's try to see it. So for the two-way data binding to work, the output property must use the pattern input change, where input is the name of the input property. For example, let's say that what I will try to do it, let's go with an example, so that here we have an example, right? So now we have a sizer component. Okay, let's go to the app.component.ts file. So I am going to app.component.ts file, and here also app.component.html file. I am opening this one. Let me remove this one all, and let's go to the ts file, and here I will be importing the sizer component. So here I will be importing the sizer component. That's it. So now if I want to use this sizer means, so here I can use app-sizer. Now you will be able to see the sizer works. So the output we are able to see. Now in this app sizer, so what I want to do it is, so here let's say that I have a variable that is nothing but font size. Okay, font size, let's say by default it is 16 only. Okay, now I want to send this one to the app sizer. So input property, what I can do, so I will try to send it within size and font size pixel. Sorry, not pixel, only the font size, or otherwise we can add it as a pixel. Let's try to do it. Font size pixel. So now I am sending it to this one. So as an input property. So now here let's go to the sizer component.ts file. Yeah. Here we have an input property. So we know that it is getting an input property at the rate input. Okay. And here we will be having the size. So which by default I can make it as a 0. So this is one way. Now what I want to do it is, so let's go to the sizer component.html file. In this HTML file, what I will try to do is, I have a div and I have a button. I will use the increment, and I will have another one that is nothing but decrement. So I am having two buttons, and here I will try to show the size. Okay, that's it. So now what I will try to do here, we will be having a click method. Click is equal to increment. I will have one method, and in this one I will be having another method that is nothing but decrement. So I can use dec. Okay, so these are the two methods which we will be having. Let's go to the sizer component.ts file, and here I can have inc method and I can have a dec method. So these are the two methods which we are having right now. And what I want to do, so I need to resize it. So here I can do this dot resize of 1. So it should be incremented by 1. and here I can use this dot resize of -1. Okay, and now what I will try to do here, I will have a resize button number, so I will get the value of type number, and in this one I will do constant size value is equal to this dot size plus value. Okay, I have incremented this value. So now what I want to do, so here, so let's try to show it here. Div size is equal to, oh sorry, not here, I want to show it in the app sizer. So in this one, so we are implementing this one, right? So I want to show the size value. Okay, so that's it. So now what I am trying to do here, I am showing the 16 value. So fine. So when I am trying to increment it here, I want to decrement it here. So I need to somehow send it to here, send it to the font size pixels. This font size pixel also needs to be upgraded. So what I can do, I can use an output binding. So here I can do something like size change. Okay, or otherwise on size change. So we can have a method like this, and here I can write something like font size pixel is equal to $event. So directly I am using the statement here. Now let's go to the here, and what I will try to do here, I will be having an output emitter. So that is nothing but output of on size change is equal to new event emitter of like this. So this will be emitting the number. We know that this will emit the number. That's it. Now let's try to add it number. Yeah. Now here what I will do, this one is nothing but this dot on size change dot emit of the size value. I will try to send the size value. That's it. That's it. Now whenever I try to increment it here and whenever I am trying to decrement it here, so the size value is getting updated. See, so where it is getting updated, actually the HTML file is here, the size value is here, but I am not upgrading the input value size. But how it is getting updated is here in the HTML, it is upgrading the font size pixel. In return, the input property is going into the size. So like this, it is getting updated. So like this, we can do the two-way data binding. So in this way, the two-way data binding for the custom two-way data binding for the component, it is able to work. So now here, if you try to have something like value, and here if you try to use the font size pixel means, so here you will be able to see. So this is in another component. If I am trying to increment it, it is incrementing. And if I want to use the style for this one means style dot font size dot pixel is equal to I can use the font size pixel directly, font size pixel directly. That's it. So increment, see the value is getting incremented, decrement, the value is getting, the font size is getting decremented. So in this way, the two-way data binding we can able to achieve it. But here this is one we are using the combination with a input property and an output property. So these two things we can remove it. Okay, so in Angular, and we can add in a such a way that, so like this and event binding, both of this combined with this one, or otherwise what I will try to do is I will try to comment out this one. Okay, and here I will use the same thing, app-sizer. I am using the same thing, and here I need to use the combination of both input and the output. So there is nothing but both the property binding and also the event binding. I am using it, and I am using the same size, and here I need to use the variable which we need to get it updated. That's it. So now, but here you need to understand that whenever trying to use this one, so we should use something like change and the name which you are trying to use it here, the input property name which you are trying to use it. So here you should not use the on here. It should be only size change. So that means what I can do it here, instead of this one, I need to use only the size change. So this size is nothing but the name of the input property, and change is normal thing only. And I can copy it and paste it here. That's it. So everything will work fine. So now we are able to achieve the same thing, but this time we are using the two-way data binding. So this custom two-way data binding, we are trying to use it. So this is how we will be able to achieve this one. So this is the custom two-way data binding. So now you may be getting a doubt that what is the difference between this custom two-way data binding and the normal traditional two-way data binding. The two-way data binding, typically we use it for the built-in form controls like input, select, text area, using a special directive that is nothing but ng model, which we will try to learn it that one. And a custom two-way data binding means it is used with the custom components that you create. Two-way data binding utilizes the ng model directive. Custom two-way data binding uses the input and output decorators along with the custom event emitters. And two-way data binding is convenient for quickly binding form elements to component properties. And custom two-way data binding provides the flexibility and control for creating reusable self-contained components with their own binding logic. So this is the difference between this two-way data binding and the custom two-way data binding. And actually the two-way data binding is implemented in Angular like this, with the combination of both property binding with the event binding. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.